Thump, 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 thump. A regular heartbeat is something most of us take for granted. But if your heart has a mind, or should I say beat, of its own, the consequences can be catastrophic. Dr. Ohad Ziv is here today with hopeful help for many hearts affected by arrhythmia. Dr. Ziv is the head of cardiac electrophysiology, I don't know how you say that every day, and the director of Atrial Fibrillation Center at Metro Health. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So we're talking about heart and hiccups, I guess, of the heart. So what are these hiccups we're talking about?
So these are not just your ordinary hiccups. Everyone has extra beats. Everyone's heart occasionally skips a beat. We're talking about atrial fibrillation, or people call AFib. This is when the top chamber of the heart becomes totally disorganized in its electrical activity. And that has a lot of potential problems. One of the issues that can occur is that the top chamber stops pumping. The bottom chamber still pumps, but the top chamber, because the electrical activity is disorganized, is not pumping. And that means that the blood moves slower, and it means that certain parts of the heart, the blood can actually pool. And if blood pools, blood clots. And if there are blood clots in the heart, you're at risk for stroke.
Bad news, yeah. So can't medicine lower the risk?
Absolutely. In fact, for most people, medications, anticoagulants, blood thinners, will reduce the risk of stroke. And in fact, will reduce the risk of stroke significantly. But not everyone can take blood thinners.
Sure.
Especially people who are at high risk of bleeding with blood thinners, because blood thinners thin the blood, therefore you can bleed. Or people who have already had problems with blood thinners and have had bleeding. They're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. They can't take blood thinners because they'll bleed, but yet we're telling them they're at a high risk for stroke.
Got to be some new approaches, right?
There are new approaches. Some of these new approaches are still not FDA approved, still in the pipeline, and there's some very exciting things coming down the line in a few years. But there is one approach that is available. It's FDA approved, and we're actually doing it at Metro. And
you've been doing it for a year or so, right?
Exactly, for a year or so.
Okay, so what's it called?
It's called the Lariat, and it's basically a loop or a lasso that goes around the spot of the heart that causes the clots, and that way prevents strokes.
Okay, you have a model here, so
yeah.
So you're going to show us where this pool of blood could be.
Yeah, so this is the heart, these are the bottom chambers, and the top chambers over here, and this part of the top chamber, the left atrial appendage, this pouch here, this is the area that has the slowest flow during atrial fibrillation, and over 90% of people who have clots develop in the heart, we find them in the appendage.
Ooh. So how do you get in there for this lasso to rope it up?
Well, certainly you can open up someone's chest and major surgery and close this off, and that's a big surgery with big risk. And the new Lariat procedure, we basically do a similar thing. We close off the left atrial appendage, but in a minimally invasive way.
Okay.
We put a catheter underneath the rib cage. Another catheter goes into the venous system, and these catheters then will deliver wires, one on the outside, one on the inside of the left atrial appendage. And these wires will meet together. Each one has a magnet tip. The magnets will stick together and hold the appendage tip. Once we have that appendage tip held, we have control of it. We can advance the Lariat loop up and over to the neck of the appendage. We can find the right spot, cinch off the appendage, pull the wires back, and then release a suture that will literally tie it off.
Excellent. So is this something that is good for everybody who has this atrial fib?
So for right now, not everyone. This is right now for people who have a relatively high risk for stroke without blood thinners, and at the same time have a high risk of bleeding.
Okay.
They can't have had open heart surgery, because we can't get under the rib cage if they've had open heart surgery. They should have, they can't have significant kidney disease, because we use dye and we don't want them to get in trouble.
Make something else worse.
Exactly. So with people with bleeding risk and they have high stroke risk, these are the people we're looking at. Now, in the future, theoretically, as more and more data is produced, this might be an option for more people. This might be an option for people who can take blood thinners but are worried about the theoretical risk of bleeding.
All right. Well, this is great information. I think we all have to know this. So the Lariat device may just hog-tie the issue of AFib, which would be a great thing for everybody. My thanks to Dr. Ziv for rustling up this information. And if you want to get some more information about this, call the number that's coming up next.
Find out more by calling Metro Health at 216-778-7800 or visit www.metrohealth.org. Next, a riotous rant of a read.